Hi, it has been a long time since you've seen me, and you've never seen me quite like this before. I'm in my hometown of Thomasville, Georgia. I've been here for the past couple of weeks taking care of my mom, who has been in and out of the hospital. And I needed to talk to you. I needed to make a video. I have a product to show you. I have the amazing elder elemental phoenix that I want to talk about. And if you just want to see the phoenix, you don't want to hear me talk about my mom, that's fine. You could always use that segmented timeline below me. Jump right ahead to exactly what you want to see. But if you want to stick with me here for a minute, I just wanted to talk about what's going on. Because my mom sadly passed away on Friday, about a week ago now, as I'm filming this. And, you know, I'm here putting her affairs in order and doing all the things you have to do when somebody passes away. I'm an only child, and so it's on me to take care of this. My father passed away in 2014. So, you know, I have a lot to do, but I still want to be here with you. I still want to talk about all these amazing things coming out. Grady is holding down the fort for me back home. But let me show you a little bit around my town of Thomasville, talk to you just a little bit about my mom, and then we'll talk about this awesome phoenix that you'll see in just a second. So yes, this is Thomasville, Georgia. I'm standing in front of a tree that is creatively called the Big Oak. It is an old tree, more than 300 years old, that is absolutely gorgeous. One of the best things about Thomasville, but Thomasville has a lot going on. This is where my mom was born. She lived here for 85 years. She moved to Hawaii for a couple of months when she was younger, but otherwise she's been in this little town for her entire life. Thomasville has an amazing broad street, brick roads, lots of lovely shops and restaurants, and there's a lot of really historic houses. It's just an amazing little town. My mom worked here at the old CNS Bank. She was a bank teller for a number of years. So here she got to know almost everybody in the entire town. It was the only real bank in town. And so she saw everyone who came in. This is, of course, before online banking was a thing. So if you want to deposit your check, you got to show up and hand it in person. And after that, she decided to become a kindergarten teacher. She worked here at the First Presbyterian Church for, oh my gosh, I don't even know, 10, 15 years as a kindergarten teacher. So anybody she didn't know from her banking days, she got to know through the kindergarten here. And she taught a lot of my friends growing up as well. So she was just an institution in this town. I think her real passion, though, in life was honestly raising me. She had me when she was in her mid-40s. And she had always wanted a child. And it wasn't until then that she was actually able to have one. And she doted on me and cared for me and loved me. And I was her world. And she couldn't have been kinder, more giving, more understanding. And it is going to be hard to adjust to not having her anymore. She's been living in a retirement home for a number of years now because she's been having some health problems, and they finally caught up to her. But, you know, she is going to rise like the phoenix as memories in my heart. And I'm going to just try to keep her alive there. So I'm going to be here for a number of weeks still as I get everything put together. But I just wanted to share her a little bit with you and share my little town, because you've been with me here, many of you, for a number of years now. And I know you probably still don't know me super well. You just know a little bit about my passions, but this is where I grew up, and this was my mom. And yeah, so thank you for sharing this with me. When I thought about what video I could record for you here in my hometown on my selfie stick when I'm still fairly emotionally raw, I thought about our elder elemental phoenix from WizKids. And of course, thank you to WizKids for sending it to us to review. And I don't know if you're like me, if you've lost anyone dear to you. I've lost my mom and my father and a couple of other people in my life. But oftentimes I can still close my eyes and imagine myself having conversations with them, talking to them. I can feel them with me. Sometimes when I dream, it's even more real, and I can have conversations with my dad who'll come to see me. Sort of like the phoenix, which is gone but will still rise, right? And right before my mom died, about 36 hours before she passed away, we were in the emergency room. And I walked in to see my mom after I had stepped out to get a bite to eat or something. And as I walked in, she said, "Oh, Theodore, you just missed Dad. He just brought me a glass of ice water. And yeah, my dad passed away in 2014, and just kind of knowing that that was one of the last things that she experienced was her husband coming to bring her a glass of ice water the day before she passed away. I was really glad that she could have that experience in her mind before she departed to hopefully go be with him. So I wanted to talk about our Phoenix here. This is our Elder Elemental Phoenix from WizKids, and many thanks to WizKids for sending it to us to review, of course. And before we get into it proper, of course, I need to thank our sponsor for this video, Hit Point Press, and their Big Bad Booklet series. The Hit Point Press has been with us since the very beginning. I would not be here today talking to you if it wasn't for our friends at Hit Point Press. And their Big Bad Booklet series is one of the best things I've ever made. I love having these on my shelves. This whole experience has made me really appreciate those moments of just being with my friends, being with my loved ones, and being able to just sit at a table and tell a story together, and having these booklets on the shelf, and I can just pull them off for whatever group of people happen to be around me at the time, and we can have an amazing little story. Or if we're just feeling a little jaunty on our regular game day, I can just pull one of these off and do a little side mission on a regular campaign that I could tie into the story with the adventure hooks that they provide. These are just awesome things to have at your table to enhance your storytelling. Each little booklet focuses on a different big bad. They'll have stat blocks and backstory and role-playing guides. Some of them have amazing like magic items and minions and new mechanics and treats. It is just, each little booklet is an amazing little treat to open up and see what you can do at your particular game table that day. And they're all written by some of the best people in the industry. So today, deep inside the kobold-infested caves of Old Alkinimic Mountain lies the great dragon, Old Alkinimic. However, rumors are spreading that the great dragon has breathed its last breath. The dragon's inheritor has taken hold of the lair and is far stranger and more dangerous. Meet September's big bad, the mimic dragon, Alkinimic Rex. With the aid of Phaig's mirror, the kobolds reincarnated their beloved dragon god, Old Alkinimic, though this mimic is not quite as the dragon once was. Will you take down this enormous mimic dragon, or will Phaig's mirror create a mimic monstrosity of you? Subscribe today at bigbads.com or use the link in the doohickey down below. Your Phoenix will arrive in two pieces like this. It's not too hard to fit them together, and they do stay together just fine once they're connected. The Phoenix is an unintelligent force of destruction. They live on the plane of fire, and if they're released into the material plane, they erupt in a burst of fire that spreads across the sky. Its only desire and urge is to burn everything, to transform the world into an inferno. It cannot be reasoned with, it does not intelligently target threats, it simply sees everything not currently engulfed in flames as something it must burn. It is nigh immortal as well. If its body is slain, it explodes and leaves behind a single 5-pound egg, which is, quote, immune to all damage. The egg will hatch into another Phoenix a number of days later, so you could throw the egg into a sphere of annihilation and it would be just fine. Your best bet is taking it to another plane, but I recommend dropping it in your bag of holding until just the right moment. What makes the Phoenix particularly powerful is its flyby ability, which protects it from melee attackers. It can swoop in with its 120 feet of fly speed, do 2 attacks, and then fly away without triggering attacks of opportunity. Of course, the PCs could just ready attacks, which will still trigger when the Phoenix comes within range, but they'll take damage just by being near the Phoenix, and they'll take more damage if they actually hit it. As a legendary creature, it also has legendary resistances and actions, and it's just straight up immune to a lot of conditions, including stunned, so take that, monks. The mini itself is 13 inches tall and comes on an 8-inch base. It's made of translucent painted plastic. If you're looking for a powerful foe for your table to make use of this mini, might I recommend the ancient fire primordial Megara, who slumbered under the crags in northwest Faerun until the dwarves of Delzoun discovered and entrapped her in the fiery pit of Gauntled Grim. Since then, lots of power-hungry despots have attempted to capture and harness her power. One of those incidents caused Mount Hotenau to erupt in Neverwinter. Megara also plays a pivotal role in the Storm King's Thunder adventure, and I personally could have used this mini to great effect during that part of the story if I'd had it at the time. A lot of the adventures we run are about some evil mastermind with a plot to do something nefarious. Maybe it's a necromancer raising an army of the dead, or a lich trying to gain immortality, or a dragon accumulating wealth and power. But one thing we don't often see is the PCs and their community facing off against a pure force of nature. The Elder Elementals were introduced into 5e and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and they are vastly powerful but unintelligent destructive forces. The Phoenix here even has the siege monster ability so that it can do double damage to structures. So this is definitely a mini that can make for some interesting stories in your campaign. The big bad in your adventure may even be trying to summon one of these, and if the party doesn't stop him or her, this mini lands on your table. I think a lot of players suspect that the bad guys can never win, can never finish their summoning spell if they get there in time, and this might be an opportunity to prove them wrong. Icons of the Realm's Elder Elemental Phoenix is available now for between $160 and $180. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. If there's anything that this whole experience has reminded me, it's how much we should treasure each other, how much we should always choose kindness with each other. So get in touch with your gaming group, set up a session, play a new campaign, play a one-shot, do a little mini campaign. There's so many different products out there you can use to facilitate your games, but just get with your friends, have a good time, make some memories together, and tell me about it. Come back to this video, leave me a comment about what fun session you had with your group. I can't wait to get back to my gaming table with I'm lucky enough to have a couple of groups, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of them. Come and chat with me if you want to. I'm on Discord. We can have conversations there. We can talk about our games. You can also always find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, thank you for bearing with me. I should be getting back home in about a week or two, and we'll get back to normal life. But until then, thank you for your patience. We'll get all those other videos out to you as soon as we possibly can. So until next time, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.